YouTube viewers and random Doctor Who fans, and welcome along to our brand new series of toy reviews. Kicking it all off, today I will be reviewing this, which is the 11th Doctor figure from the new 3.75-inch scale figure range. Oh dear God. And here it is in its packaging, yay! So, at the bottom we have the silver Doctor Who logo, along with the DW TARDIS insignia, and the Doctor written below it. At the top there's an image of the TARDIS, while on the other side we get the age rating of 5 years and up, and this is from the Series 7 figure collection. The plastic window is in a circular shape with another circle cut into it, which is kind of reminiscent of some Gallifreyan text. The smaller circle reads 6 figures to collect, while the larger circular window shows off the figure and its accessories quite well. On the back, it's advertising central, as we get some images of the other figures in the range and 2 of the Time Zone playsets. A review of one of those is coming later in the series. And at the bottom there's the standard legal phlebotomy, along with one of those weird barcode things you can scan with a smartphone for more Doctor Who fun. But I don't have a smartphone, I just have a stupid phone. So let's move on, open the packaging, and get this nightmare over with. Oh dear. So, here we are, and as you can see this figure is incredibly tiny. I'll do a size comparison later, but it is remarkably small. Taking a look at the face sculpt, I think they may have made a mistake here and released the action figure of the 12th Doctor early, because that's not Matt Smith, is it? Looks more like Keanu Reeves from the movie Point Break. Now, from certain angles you can sort of see Smith in there, but at best, it's very generic. They've tried to mould the shape of his cheeks and eyes, but the paint apps on the actual eyes themselves are terrible and just make him look a bit derpy. The hair is quite basic, and you can sort of see some brush strokes in there, but again, the paint apps are very weak. Moving down to the torso, you can see the figure is wearing the Doctor's new purple coat, which has some detailing of lapels, pockets and buttons, but looks way too plasticky for my liking. I can't help but feel if this was one of the larger 5-inch figures, it would be covered with that fabric and stitching design, which is sorely missed here. We do get some rough creases and wrinkles, but overall it's far too smooth for my liking. A white shirt along with some very rudimentary detailing of a bow tie, collar and buttons is present, while you can see his purple waistcoat along with some buttons underneath his overcoat. The arms are very plain with the white shirt sleeves poking out from under the coat, and the hands include some detailing of 4 fingers and a thumb. The legs are just a plain black with some of that creased and wrinkled material effect, while the boots are brown and some laces are visible on them. On the bottom we get some minor copyright punflobble along with a peg hole on each foot. So, overall for detail, it's very rudimentary. Turning to articulation, the head can do the full 360-degree exorcist twist, and can nod forward and back, and side to side a little, as it's on a ball joint. The arms can spin through a full 360 at the shoulder, and can also come in and out to 90 degrees. There's a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and another 360 on the wrist. There is full 360-degree waist articulation. The legs can kick forward to around 80 degrees, but can't move back, but there is a full 90-degree bend at the knee, and a full 360 at the top of the boot. So, for articulation, it's surprisingly good compared to the other 3 3/4-inch figures that I've reviewed lately. Taking a look at accessories, the Doctor comes with a minute sonic screwdriver. Literally, this thing is lose it the second you take it out of the packaging small. Placing it beside the 5-inch figures version, you can see just how tiny this thing actually is. Its detail is very plain, and the paint apps only seem to cover the handle, with a dab of gold paint at the bottom, followed by some white for the handle and black for the activation section. Beyond that, it's all silver, with some rough detailing of some claws at the top, and the emitter itself is just silver instead of being green. However, a major plus is that we finally now have a Doctor figure who can actually point his sonic screwdriver when he's holding it, as opposed to the 5-inch figure who could only be posed while checking his readings. All of the 3 3/4-inch figures now come with a base, should you want to put them up on display. It's blue and shaped like the TARDIS insignia, with the DW lettering moulded into the plastic, which is very reminiscent of the bases which came with the character building minifigures. Fortunately, if you have collected any of the 5-inch figures over the years and are sick of them falling off your display shelf, they can also be attached to this 3 3/4-inch base. Doing a size comparison, you can see the 11th Doctor fits in well with the other 5 figures in this range, and doesn't look too out of place when next to the Spin and Fly TARDIS. However, when stood next to the older 5-inch figures, you can see just how small this new figure range actually is. So, overall, what do I think of this figure? Well, I like it. Shut up! No, seriously, as a collector, I hate it. It doesn't have the same great attention to detail as its larger 5-inch predecessors, and as a result doesn't look good when up on display, which is ironic as this is the first figure I haven't wanted to put up on display, yet it comes with a friggin' display base. But for kids, yeah, it's a great figure. They don't care about detail, they just see the long coat and the floppy hair, and instantly recognise it as the Doctor. The articulation is great for a 3 3/4 inch figure, which means kids can have the Doctor flying their Avengers Quinjet, or their Dark Knight Rises Bat, or any other 3 3/4 inch vehicle that they have. A minor issue I have with this figure is its sonic screwdriver. I mean, it's far too small and can be easily lost. For me, a better idea would have been to include 2 swappable arms, one holding a screwdriver and one not holding a screwdriver. Speaking of which, another issue I have is the build quality. Some of the joints are quite loose, which means that the head can easily pop off, and the legs can also detach, which provides a choking hazard, and this is a major negative for me. I'm okay with it being 3 3/4 inches, as this seems to be the standard size for figures these days. But as it stands, I'm very disappointed with this toy. For collectors, the detail is terrible. I'd recommend this new figure range to those people who are desperate enough to buy them, but for the most part, I regrettably have to say, avoid. So that does it for this review. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there are countless more reviews online. Thank you again for watching, and remember to keep following the nerd. Goodbye.